creamy carrot and coriander soup with homemade croutons. And if you don't like the coriander, don't panic because I added it at the end of the recipe, so you can simply skip it. And if it's first time we meet, consider subscribing because we have a new simple recipe coming every single week and you don't want to miss it, so hit that notification bell. Enjoy the video.
For this recipe you need 1 kilogram of carrots, and I know other recipes would suggest to use potatoes too, just because you get a better consistency, but in my opinion, if you cook the carrots properly, you'll definitely get there. Using a vegetable peeler, peel the carrots, and after that trim them on both sides with a sharp knife. When it comes to chopping, you don't really need to be that precise. As long as you cut them in roughly the same size, you should be fine, because these carrots are for soup and we're gonna boil the heck out of them anyway. Together with the carrots, we're gonna need 1 large white onion. This is simply gonna get diced without much fuss, so now we can move on to the garlic. You need 3 garlic cloves for this recipe. Chop them again, same as the other ingredients, and we can move on into frying. Set the pan on medium-high heat and add 70 grams of butter. After that we can follow with all the vegetables that we prepared so far. Make sure you use a pan big enough so you can fit all the ingredients for the soup. For full flavor, start with the seasoning right from the beginning. Here we've got a pinch of caraway seeds. After that we are adding basic seasonings such as salt and pepper, and now cook this for about 15 to 20 minutes or until the carrots start getting caramelized on the outside, because this is what is giving flavor to our soup. Trust me, this is a really important step and you don't want to skip it. For 1 kilogram of carrots add 1.5 liter of stock, and it's totally up to you, add chicken or veg. Put the lid on and simmer this for about 40 minutes. Turn the oven at 200 degrees Celsius and let's make some homemade croutons. Even if so easy to make, I'm not gonna complicate things and we're using shop-bought bread. Cut these into cubes using a bread knife. And don't go too crazy, if you don't get them at the same size, it's absolutely fine, because you're gonna get different textures, and that works really well with the soup. Add 3 cloves of crushed garlic, that garlic flavor really works well with the croutons, and after that, season with a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. And to keep it a bit more interesting, we're gonna be adding other spices, such as turmeric and smoked paprika. If you want, you can play a bit with herbs and spices when it comes to croutons. Therefore, you can add thyme, rosemary and all that kind of stuff. But whatever spices you're adding, make sure you give to the croutons a good mix, so that nice flavor spreads over the croutons evenly. Before adding these to the oven, add a good amount of extra virgin olive oil. Now cook these for about 10 minutes, or until they start becoming golden brown. And halfway through, give them a good shake, so they cook evenly. Shake it, baby! As you can see, they are so easy to make, so I don't really understand why people buy them from the shop. 10 minutes later the croutons are done, let's get back to the soup. After 40 minutes your carrots should be definitely ready. Now of course, if you're in a rush you can consider cutting them smaller, but I always feel like cutting them into chunks gives the best results. Let's start blending. The vegetable to stock ratio I think is perfectly balanced, but just to be safe I will start first with more vegetables than stock. Just in case you like your soup slightly thicker, that's your safety net. And if you want your soup to be slightly thinner, then you can adjust the consistency with a bit more stock or even a bit of water. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm adding the coriander at the end. And I'm doing this for 2 reasons. First of all, if you don't like the coriander, you can simply skip it and you have a plain carrot soup. Second of all, if you add it at this point, your soup will have a better nutritional value, because the less you cook these leaves, the better. The carrot soup is nice and creamy, just what we were looking for. Now let's get into plating. We have here about 5 to 6 portions, so enough for the whole family. If you wanna cook this recipe, I'm gonna leave all the ingredients into the description of this video. Now to finish your dish, add a touch of extra virgin olive oil. And if you enjoyed this content, a like and a share would be highly appreciated. I'll see you next week with a new recipe.